All right, and welcome back to DK Vine Done Slow. I am going to attempt to finish the game today, but I'm going to finish it quite slow and quite poorly, as I like to do. So last we left off, I had crossed Trick Track, coming soon to CBS All Access. And now we are ready for Elevator Antics. Oh boy. So yeah, Kate. Oh no! Already. Oh wait. Yeah, I missed it already. Womp womp. Oh! Nope, I can get it. I can get it with Diddy at least. So yeah, another cavern level, and this would be quite a running theme for the rest of the game, especially coming up in the next world, where there's just an abundance of caverns and caves, and it kind of becomes tiresome. There are reasons for that, and we'll get into that, why there are so many caverns in the back quarter of Donkey Kong Country, but look, even the most tiresome stage archetypes in a Donkey Kong Country game are still better than most other games. I'll take them over most any other game, so. And there's our first DK barrel. Oh. That slip, it tricked me, because the length of this rope right here, you see this? They're like, ooh, what could be down here? They're hiding something, but it's just a trap. It's just a trap to get the slippas hit the face of the Kong. Insidious. I don't know if I pointed this out, I love Donkey Kong's crawling animation. It's so sexual? Is that the right word? Probably not. Probably sexual isn't what they were going for, but I imagine this is a game you would play in bed, right? Like, oh, here comes Donkey Kong, slithering under the covers. He's coming for you. No, his mouth is kind of agape, ever so slightly. Aren't you glad you tuned in to DK Vine Done Slow? Alright, so clearly some chicanery afoot here with zingers. If there isn't, maybe there isn't. Oh, I guess there isn't. The way they're moving just tipped my brain off, like, oh yeah, there's a secret up there. Maybe I'm conflating it with another area, or even another game. They all start to blur together after a while. So that could be dangerous to linger down here with just perpetual slippas getting shat out at you. Oh! See, okay. We're not messing around with zingers right now. And there are just little bananas down there. That's all that was. I'm looking for the big secrets. I'm just throwing around piddly little bananas. I just walked right into that. I don't know what I'm thinking. I wasn't thinking, that's the problem. Alright. Oh, I don't even have a star barrel yet. Okay, well. Didn't even bother with the K up there. There, I got the K up there. I haven't even gotten to the titular elevators of which these antics are springing from. In my defense, I am going in cold on the second hardest world of the game, so I need to warm up. I should have stretched beforehand, apparently. Oh, Wii Fitness taught me nothing. And should point out, as an historical note, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is the day that Donkey Kong Country 2 has been added to the Switch. So I am playing the original Donkey Kong Country, obviously, but I'll get around to DKC2 eventually. I don't need that DK barrel. Why would I endanger myself like that? Alright. Do the zingers, get that little banana bunch, why not? Make up for that life I lost. There's the star barrel, and there's a clump. It's always surprising to see a Kremling after having only been like Kremling crew animals like mini neckies and slippas. Oh, that elevator stack. Did you see that? Can I recreate that? Or is that just a one-time thing? That elevate, like there are two elevators right on top of each other. That was really weird. So you don't want to ride these. Oh, are you kidding me? This is, yeah. So they do hide things down in the lower regions, but even a little. We're just gonna stick a banana bunch there on a little knob, little knobby thing. All right, let me take out this mini Nicky. I don't think that steel keg is relevant, but you never know. It never hurts to have extra protection. See, now there's the N, which I missed the O completely. Oh, and there's another steel keg. Aw, they're friends. Look at that. Kiss each other. Come on. This also looks like Donkey and Diddy have a serious problem with drinking. Well, they're gonna go into the industrial caverns here, but they can't go with at least 2 kegs. I always do wonder, it is weird. Because I played this game when I was in elementary school, so it was, several years before I'd reached college age, and I associated kegs with beer. So it is funny to me. It's never really talked about what are in these steel kegs, but I assume it's alcohol, right? Like, they wouldn't just be empty steel kegs. Oh, no! It just dematerialized. I mean, I can still take care of the clumps, no problem. But it's just not as satisfying. Unless I had to break open that. See, now I don't know. Now I have that doubt, and I might have to come back. This is why you shouldn't set something down and then let it go off screen, even for a second, in a game of this age, because chances are it will dematerialize. Whew. Good. Oh no! Diddy has been nutted. Yeah, the mini neckies are getting fierce at this point in the game. They're spitting at a greater velocity. And Diddy would be ideal for the elevator sections, the elevator antics themselves, because he is the more nimble jumper of the two. And then you get assholes like this. But, Donkey's perfectly capable, so you want to ride that down all the way. Because there's that. It's not even spinning. How lovely. Of course, there's no grand prize at the top. It's just bananas, but I'll take bananas. So, that is Elevator Antics, and I did miss a bonus, so I'm assuming, I'll just go to candy first. I'm assuming it is the one I pointed out with the keg. So now I have to go back and do that, because I do have to go back 75%, so I have 26 more percent to go. I need to go back into Vine Valley and Gorilla Glacier to get 2 bonuses I missed on the last stream. And I'll do that. It's not a problem. Special hello to Gibbon in the live stream. If you're watching, you want to say hello? Say hello. Yeah, so I didn't know if I'd be able to do this at the scheduled time I had announced, because there are plumbers in the complex right now. They're doing repairs on all the buildings, and I heard them in the building next door early this morning, and luckily they came in and left with about an hour to go. But I just thought it funny if my planned final stream in the inaugural DK Vine Done Slow for Donkey Kong Country was thwarted by plumbers. Oh man, Donkey. Because that would be the final revenge of the Mario Brothers and their long-standing hatred of all things Kong. Alright, so we'll let Diddy take the lead here. Especially because we've got some nimble rope work to attend to with the zingers. So I do like, though, how, yeah, this is another cavern level, and there's going to be more. Just all these subterranean levels, but I like how they incorporate the theme of Kremkroc into this, because yes, this is a cavern, one of many, but I almost did that again. The Kremlings are clearly, like, mining it, or they're taking something out because they built these elevators into it, which is just a cool little touch. Yeah, those. And you can see, like, it's hard to make out, but there is some sort of, like, ore or some sort of, oh, come on. Well, at least we both got taken out. That was like me and the Gold Hoarder in Sea of Thieves. We both got taken out at the same time. And now I missed whatever Ramsey was gonna say. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's more visible in the remakes, but there's ore in those ladders. They're less ladders and more like lifts to get the ore out, the coal or whatever. The Kremlings are using that for their factories, which is a really cool touch. I always miss the O. Now that's concerning me. What is the O attached to? Alright, so now we've got 2 kegs. I'm going to leave that keg. Not even going to pick it up. Oh! God. Log. I was taken out by the clump. Just amateur hour. You know, what are the Kremlings making in Kremkroc? We don't really know, although Donkey Kong Country Returns, where you actually go back to Kremkroc, although, you know, it's long since abandoned, it's briefly taken over by the Tiki Tak tribe. So they kind of, like, get the furnaces going again. But, we know from that game that they were dabbling in robotics and even rockets. So... No, that's not anything. Oh my god, I don't know where the other bonus is. Oh, womp womp. This is embarrassing. So it might be actually earlier in the level. And I was just taken out by the nut. Okay, so we're gonna do a bonus area cleanup later on. Let's go into Poison Pond. Poison Pond. So this is a very, I think, famous or semi-famous water level, just because it's so memorable. Now, later games would have definitely messed with the concept of a poison pond, because the water would be toxic and it would slowly hurt you. But given the way they devised the water levels in Donkey Kong Country, well, that was just stupid. You know, there's no oxygen meter, and you're never actually out of the water, right? So I think that they just thought, well, we'll color it green, but there's no real reason to make it dangerous, because how would we even do that? You don't even ever leave the water. So if it was dangerous, you know, can't really do much with that except make an impossible level. But later DKC games would have definitely made this toxic water, this poison pond, actually poisonous in some form or fashion. Whoa! Chomp Party, yeah. Actually, those are Chomps Jr., just baby versions of Chomp. Well, no, is that Chomps Jr.? It's hard to tell. I'm not actually paying attention to the size of it. Because Chomps Jr. look a little bit more gnarly than big Chomps, which you would think would be the other way around. Like an older shark would accrue more damage over time. Bite sizes are just, I think, the most forgettable enemy in the game, because they're just fish. They are fish, and there's not much to them other than being fish. I do like that they have a bigger spotlight and funky fishing in the remix, but just swim right into that. Squidge right there. So yeah, this is paints a pretty bleak picture. No snowman from DKC 3. Pun intended. What am I doing? Alright, I need to wake up. I think those plumbers did something to the air in here. I'm suffering from a gas leak or something. Yeah, but Poison Pond being poisoned as it is really feels like, you know, the Kremlings are ruining this part of the island. And there is definitely an ecological message to Donkey Kong Country. I mean, this was kind of the tail end of what could be considered the early 90s, right? And I remember the early 90s, there was a widespread kind of green movement. You know, you had stuff like Fern Gully at the time, and cheesy stuff, but, you know, well-intentioned. There was a good message, environmentalism. This was before it became so politicized, where, you know, half of America or slightly less thinks environmentalism is something that the other side believes in, and we have to be anti-environment. And I'm not going to get on a political soapbox here, but it kind of hurts how far we've fallen that we can't even fucking agree on, you know, polluting the planet is a bad thing. But, you know, Donkey Kong Country not only embraces that environmental message, but so does really, like, the whole series and the whole Donkey Kong universe, and fuck. And Rare and Platonic to this day. I mean, Everwild really is playing with human society and their relationship with nature, and really seems to be the culmination of a lot of these themes that, you know, first really were explored in DKC. I know I've forgotten that K. I don't really care about that K anymore. I'm just focused on getting through Poison Pond. And again, there are no bonus areas in Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong Land's water levels. Oh, taken out by a bite size. That's a low point. So it really is just focus on getting to the end, even if you're shooting for 101%. It is a nice break, and I say that about Poison Pond. Poison Pond, it's just a nice vacation from all the rigors and stress of the other levels. Yeah, those bite sizes shouldn't be taking me out with such ease. This is embarrassing, and I apologize. I apologize you have to watch such a bad stream. I like how Donkey Kong, despite being underwater in this Mountain Dew colored chemical waste, stops to scratch his head in befuddlement like, how did that happen? wonder if they took a shower afterwards. Like, if they, like, just booked it to the first available shower and just washed all this gunk out of their fur. I guess they would have to wash their clothes, too. Donkey Kong just has this tie. But Diddy, you know, is wearing a tank top and a hat. He wouldn't want to put that stuff back on after being in this. So I imagine they do rinse out and stop and wash their clothes. And this is all they did that day. Poison Pond. But as bleak as this is, I do like that when we return to Kremkroc in Donkey Kong Country Returns, you know, what was it, 16 years after the factory had been shut down, you see just nature, fuck those bite sizes, you see nature reclaiming it, reclaiming the land. There's no more overt pollution. Okay, alright. I just have to accept it's happening, and I have to resolve to get better. My problem is I'm just trying to rush, and that is not what DK Vine Done Slow is all about, so I need to take my time. I need to take my time, relax, and enjoy the yellow 5 in the water. I remember when I was a kid, around this time, maybe a little bit later, and it's like, oh, you're drinking Mountain Dew, or like Surge, or whatever. Don't you know that has yellow 5 in it, and that kills your sperm? And it's like, well, even if that's true, to such a widespread extent that, you know, you'd be worried about it, why do you, teenage boy, want to have children right now? I want Donkey and Diddy. It's too hard going through that with just Donkey. Donkey is too much of a target in these underwater levels. Although I'm not doing much better with Diddy, am I? Diddy is the best swimmer out of all the Kongs, even after Dixie is introduced. Well, I'm talking about the original trilogy. I'm not really factoring in Tropical Freeze, because then I think Dixie is better because she has that little helicopter spinny move she does. But in the original trilogy, Diddy is best, even with the introduction of Dixie. Dixie does some things better. Diddy swims faster and climbs faster. So it's nice, you know, they tried to keep them balanced, even though Dixie is god tier in almost everything else with that hair. Alright, see, I was trying to get back to that DK barrel. Oh, but I probably already broke it the first time. I don't remember. If you're watching and you're like, Hyle, you didn't break it. I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm always taken out by that bite size. These mincers, this is what they're called, mincers. It's a weird idea for an obstacle. Whew. Just a spiked tire. They came back in Donkey Kong Land, though. They were much smaller, but they came back. A lot of things were a lot smaller in Donkey Kong Land, including K. Rool. It's like, I think, smaller than Diddy, or just the same size. It's downside to these underwater levels, really, I think throughout the whole trilogy, but in the first one is sometimes you don't know which is the right way. Because you're like, whatever, alright. 69. I just wanted to see the balloon count reach 69. So I could snicker. like the teenage boy who's afraid of mellow yellow. Alright, avoid that. I know Ingard's got to be around here somewhere. That's why I'm kind of... I didn't even see that bite size, I have to be honest. I was so focused on the mincer that I did not see that bite size. Yeah, but you don't know which way to go sometimes. You're like, is that the proper way? Oh no, that's just a little alcove. Like, see there. Don't know what's going to be up there, and it's just bananas. And now that I know that, I'm not going to go up there. But it is tricky sometimes. Like the Triceratops. So, this is pretty well guarded down here. I'm just going to run into it. Alright, maybe I should go up where the chomp was. Because once I get in guard, like, show's over, right? I don't have to fear Poison Pond anymore. Well, I do, but it makes it a little bit easier. I really wish I had Diddy right now, I have to say. But whatever. Hey. Hey. Yeah, it's right. It's right. It's in guard time. It's weird you have all this empty space up here and there's nothing up here. And I have to wonder, knowing a little bit what we know about like Ukulele's development, if, you know, some of that was just, we're gonna like plot out the level and leave lots of nooks and crannies that can be filled in later. In guard, I swear to God, you better not. Alright. No! Yeah, I don't know either, Donkey. I don't know either. Because I know in Ukulele, they did design the world sometimes to... They would just put like little alcoves here or there, and like, well, other people can fill that in with items, and sometimes they wouldn't get filled in, so you just have kind of this empty space. You don't really see that with, I think, the later games in the trilogy. Really, you don't see it much in this game at all, but it is curious sometimes when it does happen. Alright. I'm tired of Poison Pond. Alright, so I need to... See, I don't even know how I did it the first time. Okay. Alright, now... In guard. We don't get hit by the mincer. No, no. Oh, there's Diddy, thank God. Now I have the hits. Now I needn't fear anything. Pfft, Jesus. Did I lose Engard? I just lost, like, where did Engard even go? That makes me sad. Now, yes, I probably shouldn't have my fish friend in this environment for too long, because it would dramatically shorten his life. I hope they all got, like, medical checkups after this. Do you think? Because I imagine Donkey Kong Island, you know, they don't have to worry about health insurance or anything. I imagine, you know, it's all pretty well taken care of. Well, that's a convenient place for that to happen, as much as I'm loath for it to happen at all. But yeah, I hope, like, there was this big sequence where after they, you know, got a shower and washed their clothes, they went to the doctor. I really don't need them to develop chronic problems later in life from Poison Pond. So the bite size is just swimming at different speeds. Yeah, that is tricky, and I have always just written off the bite sizes. Maybe because I blacked out all the times that I've actually been felled by them. So props to bite size. I'm sorry I called you the most forgettable baddie in the game. They're definitely trickier than I gave them credit for. And there's Poison Pond. And look at that lovely exclamation mark. And let me go use Cranky Shower real quick. Can you believe the shack they stuck me in? Cranky, you've lived here your whole life. You know, I could just sit here all day and watch this. like I said on the other episodes of this series, this is pointless. There's nothing that this does for you as a player, right? But it does make you buy into the world of Donkey Kong Country a whole lot more. You kind of believe in its integrity, and it really made Cranky, I think, one of the most memorable characters in the series for a lot of people. And even now, you know, Cranky was, you know, Miyamoto's one of Miyamoto's favorite characters from Donkey Kong Country, which is funny because Cranky is the original Donkey Kong, made to be a miserable old bastard. So, Minecart Madness! Oh no! Let me save. Yeah, let me save. Yoo-hoo, Honey Kong. It's weird that we know Candy's affectionate nickname for Donkey. It's Honey Kong. Is that because he's always sticky? What? Alright, so... Yep, here we go. So this is the harder of the two minecart stages, and, whoop, look at that. You can now jump out of the minecart, so it completely, like, throws you the first time you play this. And I love, one of the things, one of the things that the retro games did so well is they actually provided context for why you could jump out of some minecarts, and some minecarts you took the whole thing with you. And that's, I missed something down there, right? Yeah, because I saw an Engard token. Anyway, so when you can when you jump out of the minecarts, that's because they're filled with ore or minerals or whatever they're mining. And when the minecart jumps with you, it's actually empty, so the whole thing goes with you. Retro is really good about providing context for things like, why are balloons what count for lives? Well, they're what take you back into the level. What are the Kong letters? They're a Tiki Tak tribe artifact used to open up their key temples. Just things like that. They really did put a lot of thought into why and how the items that are given no context in the series are what they are and do what they do. I don't think enough fans appreciate that. It's almost like just fanon logic applied to the canon of the games after the fact. It's one reason I really like Ukulele, and, you know, because Ukulele, a lot of the people who worked on Donkey Kong Country worked on those games at Playtonic, and they didn't fall into the trap of Banjo-Kazooie, where it was kind of haphazard, like, the items. Like, yeah, you had, like, music notes, which applied for the characters, but then you had jigsaw pieces, and you had, yeah, I did miss, there's 3 bonuses in Minecart Madness. Well, fuck me. You know what, we're gonna do it now, because this is a fun level anyway, so I don't mind doing it again. It's not like, I mean, Elevator Antics is fun too, but this is more exhilarating, so I just need to be on alert. Oh, that was nice. Oh, I know what I have to do when I'm up there. I have to jump. Yeah, I remember. It's been a while. I spent years trying to get over my minecart madness. And here I've succumbed yet again. Anyway, but yeah, Ukulele, they put thought into the cohesion of the items, so instead of like having all these little bits like Jinjos. See, watch this. There. See, that break in the bananas was supposed to be your cue, which is nonsense. That's just stupid. And I say that as somebody who adores this game, adores this series. Good, because I didn't want to get that Ramby token. So, alright, now start and select. And we got the exclamation mark. Look at that. Terrific. I'm gonna go save. I'm just gonna save after every level because that's what I would do if I wasn't streaming. If I wasn't trying to entertain you, I would be saving after every level. So, because I'm a very cautious saver, very cautious in general when I play video games. Let's visit Funky. Just say hello. Oh, okay, I'll go see Old Man Cranky. I won't visit you then. Let's go see Old Man Cranky. That's what Funky wants us to do. I've never not followed Funky's advice. Anyway, yeah, ukulele has the Ghost Riders, quills, pages, all, you know, on a theme. And Banjo-Kazooie never really had that. Donkey Kong Country didn't have that either, but it was kind of all made to retroactively fit, so. Never seen anything like it. Some of Cranky's lines of dialogue are so just out there. Like, he's rambling, but you don't even know the context of what he's rambling about. Because either he's bitching about the game, right? Or he's just saying generic old man shit. And I don't know. It's great. Cranky, it's kind of funny because Cranky is just such a British character. The miserable old, I guess pensioner would be what they refer to him in the UK. But, you know, here, like, the bitter retiree, right? And that is not an archetype that is common in Japan, because in Japan they actually revere and respect their elders. So it's difference in culture. So when Japanese studios would take the character like Paon, they would make him more of a wise village elder who wouldn't necessarily be cranky about anything. And Retro restored some of Cranky's crankiness, but you know, he really has mellowed over the years. He was at his absolute worst in Donkey Kong Country 2. When we play that, I will point out just how heinous he actually is. He was probably a bit too cranky because he's not even likable there. I mean, he's likable because he's funny, but it's kind of like Kazooie syndrome where you can take things a bit too far and just make the character unpleasant in certain context. And in these trying times that we live in, I think having Cranky be mellowed and less of an abrasive fool is comforting. But I did like his presence in this game because it was a motivating factor. This Donkey Kong Country was the first game that I wanted to get good enough to beat without using codes or Game Genie or just nerfing the whole process. I wanted to actually beat it on my own like ability and skill. So, and part of that was like, well, Cranky would judge me if I didn't. So, thank you, Cranky. Thank you for pushing me to be stronger and better. Although, given how often I died in Poison Pond, you could have pushed me a little bit harder, and I would have turned out better. See, like that. That wouldn't have happened had you actually been rougher with me. So, Blackout Basement is kind of a play a little bit on Torchlight Trouble, except now it's faulty lights, faulty lighting that's resulting in temporary blackouts. So you have to kind of gauge where things like that are going to be versus, you know, where they are when the lights are on. And I like how this is kind of baked into, see, I didn't judge where the rope was going to be when I jumped. I like how this is kind of baked into the Kremlins and their lax safety standards. Like, they're not about regulations on businesses. They would be very much like, we have to deregulate all of the business crippling regulations. We have to deregulate the regulations on our factories. So we can't have any safety protocols. We can't have anything that would like remotely hinder our ability to churn out profit. And that includes faulty wiring in their factory, which is just 101 safety. Like, no, you can't have lights having a constant strobing effect in your factory where there's massive chasms, just these implausible gaps that make no sense and defy logic. They do have safety railings behind some of them. Like, safety railings behind it, but not to the sides of it where it really counts. But I mean, how would you get from point A to point B? Why don't they just build, I don't know, bridges? Why did they construct this factory in this way in the first place? I guess because, you know, building the entire floor would have cost too much money, and not when there's profit to be had, damn it. A lot of claptraps there. And this kind of lax safety protocol that's just endemic to Kremlin culture, or at least the Kremlin government under Rool. See that banana there? I could have gotten to that. I could have fallen there, and I would have been just fine. Kremkroc is just kind of a precursor to Crazy Kremland, where you have that philosophy applied to, of all things, an amusement park. And so it's kind of like New Jersey's Fable Action Park, which was called Traction Park, considering the amount of injuries and lawsuits that happened there, because there was just no, like, it was like designed by madmen, and Crazy Kremland is similar to that, but it's very much of the ethos of Kremkroc. Of course, Kremkroc is not the first Kremlin factory. This is just like the latest Kremlin factory. I did it again. Holy fucking shit. I'm the worst at Donkey Kong Country. I suck at this game. No, I don't suck at this game. I'm not the best. I'm not like an amazing, flawless speedrunning man. I'm not Johnny come blazing fast. I know a lot about the lore, though. I can tell you about the Kremlin factories. Like, Kremkroc. I think Kremkroc is a different company than what we would see in Donkey Kong Country 3, and then later Donkey Kong 64, which is Kremco. I'm not sure why they have different factories, but Kremco, which runs the Mechanos factory operations in the Northern Kremisphere, seems to be much older. It's kind of got kind of a Dickens era vibe to it, where this is more than state-of-the-art factory, and we would later find out in Returns it is at least powered by an AI robot who we named AI because he's a giant eyeball, so AI. It's weird that the bananas shine through the darkness, isn't it? Like, those are some bright-ass bananas. I like the hang time you can get when you hit a wall after blasting out of a barrel. Always seemed fun to me. Okay, so there's a steel keg. But we don't know what's coming that way. Because I don't want to... Whoa! Okay, so there's a Mankey. Ah, there's a Mankey. Now, I could throw the steel keg and dispatch the Mankey. And I lost the steel keg. Are you kidding me? Because I picked it up and then put it down away from its spawn point, it just dematerializes. Whoa, that's a lot of critters. So... it's cheap. Yeah, and then there is where I threw the steel keg. So, can I get it back? Or is it just gone forever now? Oh, that sucks. So, yeah, hold on, maybe... I was hoping the blast barrel would be there to carry me away. Well, whatever. I know what to do now. So, I just have to play this smarter. And, you know, I don't really factor in played smarter as I jump on a Clump's helmet with Diddy right next to a pit. But I never factor in, like, oh, this item will dematerialize, because I have to set it down, because I can't lose it if I get hit by a Mankey, or run into the Mankey, or run into the Mankey's barrels, or whatever. I never factor in that setting it down and then going just off screen will make it disappear. Which in Blackout Basement is a problem, because you can't see in front of you half the time. So being cautious means you have to be doubly cautious at all times, and then whoopsie, you lost the keg. It's cheap. Yeah, I'm gonna get it again. Well, I have to, I think, to get the keg, so. Look at that hang time, I love that. Alright, so. Should I do this with Donkey? He's not as nimble. But he holds the keg up, so. Like the biggest problem, I think, is okay. Now I have all of those critters to contend with. There we go. Time for Donkey to look at his non-existent watch. I love, like, the lame side to Donkey Kong, right? Like, he's like portrayed as this cool and collected guy, but you can see, like, there's part of him that's just a bit of a nerd deep down. And that is Blackout Basement. Hey, look at that. So now the dumbest boss in the game, and it's even in his name. I wonder if this was a joke, right? Like, what do we call this boss? Well, let's call... This is the dumbest idea you've had for a boss. Greg, or Steve, or Chris, or Kev. I don't know who is responsible for this, but... Call him Dumb Drum, because that's what he is. This is stupid. I think he's great, but this is like a weird, stupid concept that we're gonna have a sentient oil drum as the boss who actually attacks you by just vomiting out baddies at you. I mean, it makes sense conceptually, given like the other bosses are just enlarged versions of other baddies, so this kind of is a play on that concept, except it spits out baddies, just like the oil drums in earlier levels spit out baddies at you. But these are baddies that aren't represented by bosses in the game, so you kind of get, oh, here's an army boss. Here's armies factored into a boss fight, even if the boss itself isn't an army. Look how close the Gangplank Galleon is getting. You can make out the figurehead. You see, you can make out the golden crocodile figurehead, and you can also see the Kremlin Jolly Roger. It is reversed in this game from how we normally see it, but it is still the Kremlin Jolly Roger. It was in this game. It's infamously, associated with Donkey Kong Country 2, and to a lesser extent Land 2, and it would show up again in Donkey Kong 64. On like the bed sheets or maybe like, I think it was the bed sheets of the sunken gloomy galleon. But yeah, it debuted here, and I never even noticed it in this game, right? It wasn't until Donkey Kong Country 2 that I saw the Kremlin Jolly Roger, made it out, because you can barely make it out on these sales. But then later, after the fact, coming back to this game, I was like, oh, it's actually here. That's what that is. Just cool little details. Hello to Jeff. Jeff is in the house. Jeff in the live stream. Our friend Jeff. My friend Jeff. Everyone's friend Jeff. So, I've got to go back. Like Jack from Lost. I've got to go back to Orang-utan Gang, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this now, so after I beat Chimp Caverns, I don't have to play Mop Up. Ah, come on. I still got the pot, so I need to... Alright, whatever. This isn't Poison Pond. I never have to do Poison Pond in the stream again. I was gonna say my life, but that's not true. I will play Poison Pond again in my life. I'm pretty sure after I die, I will be playing Poison Pond as my body gets carted in to be cremated. My fingers will just be twitching out Poison Pond movements. As if, you know, I was actually playing it. Just the muscle memory will kick in even after my muscles are paralyzed with rigor mortis. So I've ruminated a little bit about where... Well, no, that's not. I already got those. I think I know what bonus area I missed the first time around, and the second time around, and the third time around. Oh, well, I'll just take it since I opened it. So, to make it easier on myself, I'll clear it and then go back in. Because I was thinking, you know, there's so many to keep track of in Orang-utan Gang. It is honestly obnoxious. So it's easy to forget one. And there is one that I would always forget because I don't think it's the most obvious one. And it's never like where I think it's supposed to be. We all have our blind spots. Especially when it comes to hidden items and areas in the Donkey Kong games. We all kind of forget. Or like our play styles aren't really attuned to one thing. It always like escapes our vision. So this is one of mine. There's an O down there. But it's not worth dealing with the claptraps. So maybe it was after the star barrel then, because I think... You know, mankeys are a lot easier to deal with when the lights are constantly flickering on and off, so I think it's this. Oh, yep, it was. Okay, so I died, but it's nice to know, even though I wasted all that time, that it's actually after the star barrel. And I don't think I need espresso. Like, that is what was tripping my muscle memory up there, was I thought I needed espresso to get it, but I think I can reach that so long as I have Diddy. So maybe I should tag him out. Well, whatever, I'll just deal with it. I'll just deal with it. Ah, so close. Oh, but I can reach it. Okay. Alright, this is going to be it. This is going to be the time I do it. And then I can clear off Orang-utan Gang from the to-do list. It's funny how both of these bonuses that I need in Orang-utan Gang and Ice Age Alley are so associated with Espresso. Who's honestly just kind of pathetic in this game. He's awesome in Donkey Kong Land. I love Espresso in Donkey Kong Land. And Donkey Kong Country 2 GBA. But this is not Espresso's, like, shining moment here. Oh! I think I can cartwheel over there. I'm honestly surprised, you know, mankeys haven't come back. Oh, well, nope. There's probably a DK barrel around. I definitely need to do... Oh, yeah, right there. I definitely need to do this with Diddy. Although, I shouldn't have just tagged him in. I need to keep him safe. So this time, I'm definitely going to do it. I say that. Knowing full well what's probably about to happen. Ah! So it is easier with espresso, but no, I'm adamant. I'm adamant now. Fuck that bird. He needs to go to the gym, work on his legs, become a better animal buddy. So, I'm gonna have to use him in Ice Age Alley anyway, so. Alright, I'm jumping too soon. I do wonder, you know, inevitably the Kremlings will be back, right? At the very least, Rool. I mean, Rool's already, like, back, and he's a big icon now of Nintendo thanks to Smash Brothers, which was thanks to the Smash Ballot and the big fan campaign there, but I need to run, I guess. When the Kremlings come back as an antagonist, I wonder how much of the Kremlin crew will come back. Because Mankey hasn't been seen since this game. Remakes aside, right? So I think as antagonist or minor antagonist working for the larger antagonist, fuck! Alright. I got over there once with Diddy. Now I'm actually missing espresso. I say that, but there's still so much more I have to... What? I swear I pressed the button. I swear I pressed the button. I just... Oh, I'm gonna smile through the tears here. This is just gonna make me stronger. Watch out, world. I'm eating up my lives very gradually, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be even better at Orang-utan Gang. And then I'll be unstoppable. They don't leave you much room for error there. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. All right. And just one of these little things. One of these. Like, seriously? Why are you giving me a DK barrel? It just drops it. Okay. Am I done? Please tell me I'm done. I'm done! Hey, Candy. Please. Yes, it was hard work. Were you watching? You're right there. You should have been watching how hard that was. Oh my God. All right, let's go to Funky. Funky is my god. Could you imagine how wonderful that would be if Funky was the lord of everything? All right, Gorilla Glacier. This one I'm not looking forward to, and I wasn't looking forward to that one, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. This one is going to revolve around getting the right jumping distance with espresso of all characters, all things. And I just lost him, and I just lost him. Oh, you know what? Actually, this will be good because this will allow me to recoup some of the many, many, many lives I just lost in Orang-utan Gang trying to just jump over a basic gap that, you know, I did when I was 11. And yet somehow failing at constantly. This is the best animal token bonus game, so it's not like I'm playing Rambies. Okay. Well, that makes up some of the deficit. Now I'm back up into the 60 life area. Remember when I was at 69? Remember how hilarious that was? Of course. Alright, I'm just gonna start and select. Without espresso, there's no hope getting this bonus. Espresso is just an interesting character. Because I see why they replaced him readily, right? But at the same time, Donkey Kong Land made him such a fun character that it was kind of upsetting. And Donkey Kong Land was Paul Makachek, right? Like, it wasn't this team. So even if they like had resurrected Espresso in Donkey Kong Country 2, he probably would have, you know. I mean, they might have used him. Oh no. They might have, you know, incorporated Donkey Kong Land's play control and abilities for Espresso in Donkey Kong Country 2, but people ascribe these games to Rare. Rare made them, and that's true. Rare did make them, but they always overlook the people responsible and that they were different teams. It's how we get to, like, notions like all the good people at Rare left in this year because I didn't find any Rare games enjoyable after that, but the people you're saying, like, left didn't actually work on the game. The games you're saying you enjoyed or whatever, like. Oh. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at this bonus. I think this might be outside of that Kremkroc bonus area, which was, you know, the bonus area in a bonus area that you have to break open and enter. You can't just throw it and then open it, and you can only get it once in the entire game. Outside of that, this is probably my least favorite bonus area because I always struggle reaching it. Alright. And, like, Espresso is so vulnerable at all times. Ugh. So it's just with enemies, it's like, do I dismount from Espresso and then take care of them? Or do I try to just evade with Espresso? And dismounting, as I've shown when I put down kegs and other things, can be a problem because you never know if they're just going to dematerialize. So it's like, is it worth dismounting from Espresso there to take care of that mini necky? And I could just jump over. But then this mini necky. Alright. Maybe I should get closer. Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do. Apologies for this portion of the stream. This maddening portion of the stream where I die several times in levels I've already beaten. But each and every time, I'm gonna get a little bit better, anticipate what's coming. But not that time. That time, was rubbish. After this time, because I plan to die this time too. So starting next time, I will get better and better with every turn. I've already said this, but I just love Gorilla Glacier. Talk about all the things Retro did right, but I think they still made a mistake. Are you kidding me? They still made a mistake at disregarding Gorilla Glacier, blowing it up, because I think it just added so much. And, you know, it could come back conceivably if the volcano calms down on the island. And then you have enough, you know, coldness in the environment for it to frost over. But at least when Retro had creative control over the series, they were very attached to the idea of that volcano. Alright. This is the time I'm going to get better and better. I hope none of you are taking shots at home at how, like, take a shot every time Hyle needs to restart the level or he dies or whatever, because you're going to die. You're going to die from alcohol poisoning, and I'm going to carry that guilt with me for the rest of my life until they cremate my body. So I think I needed to get a higher angle there. No, I got it. Okay. So let me dismount. Oh, come on. And Espresso doesn't care. Did you see that? Espresso does not care that his simian friends just died in front of him. One fell down a pit. He's just gonna peck the ground looking for seed or whatever. Heartless bastard. Did Express... Oh my god, alright. This is my least favorite bonus area. 'Cause I haven't even gotten... Think about this. I haven't even gotten to the bonus area yet. I'm not even close to... I haven't even attempted it. I'm dying at my attempts to get to it. That's what's crazy. Whew, and he's still there. Okay. And I just hit the star barrel, so now I'm really in the weeds. Now I have to do this. Still have... Oh, come on! Alright. Yeah. I'm pissed now. We're gonna keep going. I can't with that right now. Because they make you get the star barrel, right? And then claptraps, they can go right underneath Espresso, so you don't normally worry about them with Espresso. Oh, but then they have one at just the right angle that counts as a hit, and then that takes him out. And then you have to play through the rest of the level because you need Espresso to get that bonus area. So there's all of this torture lined up for you, and it's just, yeah, I'm not in the mood for it right now. I'm angry at Espresso. I'm angry at that claptrap. Quite frankly, I'm angry at Snow, and I'm glad Retro blew it up now. Fuck Gorilla Glacier. I'm glad you're in hell. So this is Chimp Caverns. This is the final world of the game, and it's just caves and caverns and mines, and tanked up trouble. Yep. So a lot of people comment like, really the final world of Donkey Kong Country is just a regurgitation of archetypes we had seen before. And granted, they do a lot with it, like this. Tanked Up Trouble is a great premise. You have to collect the fuel canisters to keep this little contraption going here. But from what I understand, the reason behind this was that they wanted to do a volcanic region, ironically, right? Given what I just talked about, they wanted to do a volcanic area on Donkey Kong Island for the final area, but they ran out of time. Ultimately, like, a lot of their ideas for it would be carried through in Crocodile Cauldron in the second game, which I love that the second game I think that was tied to a bonus, so I'm just gonna do it now. Save myself the 2 hours later it would take me. But yeah, to get the game out in time, they just didn't have time to actually carry it forward. Interestingly enough, though, like, this area, which would be generally adjacent to the volcanic core of Donkey Kong Island, that would be established in Donkey Kong Country Returns, was established to be volcanic in Donkey Kong 64, because the entrance to Crystal Caves was in this location, and you saw in the lobby there was lava if you looked just right. And then in the Game Boy Advance remake, they did put lava bubbling up on the map screen. So in some ways, the original plans for this world were carried forward, just never in a way that translated to the actual levels. How am I supposed to get that then? Oh, wait. No, okay. I'm not insane. I thought there was something where if you ride it out, I thought maybe it would, like, carry you up, but I'm misremembering. Whatever. Like, you know I'm not cheating, right? I'm not just looking up at strategy guides while I'm playing this. I'm sweating. I'm struggling. I'm doing it honestly. I always do wonder about those Kremlings who are just stationed on these small scaffolding platforms. What must they think? Oh, wait. I'm not paying attention. Okay, I know what to do now. I wasn't paying attention to the bananas, and you should always pay attention to the bananas. That's Donkey Kong Country 101, which incidentally will get you 101%, is pay attention to the way the bananas are pointing. And this game would mess with you in certain ways. So sometimes they wouldn't have bananas, sometimes bananas can be a little bit more misleading than the later games, but I should know better. I should know better. The background of these mine levels are interesting, and just how barely there they are. They're just kind of dreary and dim, just that dim lighting, which I do like. Like, that's not me criticizing. There we go. So let's see. Is that all? Is that all it does? Really? All of that? Okay. I'm sure there's like a big secret or big bonus area attached to it, and then what does it get you? What does it get you? Nothing! I mean, guard token. But, you know, I showed it off. I showed off. Hey, can we do that? Yay. Oh, now I have a tire along for the ride, too. That's cool. Whee! Gonna lose that tire. Yep, there it goes. Some of these fuel canisters are barely filled, and this is where it gets hairy. I imagine these fuel canisters have been like sitting around for a long time too, so it makes sense that some of them would be near depleted or evaporated. What we're not seeing though is like Donkey and Diddy having to apply the fuel, like they grab it and then they quickly pour it in the tank. We're not seeing that animation, of course, but I imagine that's the conceit of what's happening. I'm not gonna take this tire with me this time, because it was making me too nervous to have it there. It's either I jump on it and then just watching it wobble and almost fall off time after time. I was starting to feel bad for the tire. I was like starting to make it anthropomorphic and ascribe feelings and fears to it. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Alright, so there's more fuel in that. That's always a good feeling when you get up to the green. It's like when your cell phone is fully charged after dying or almost dying. Yeah, I did that because I didn't know if it was gonna like pull some shenanigans with me. Why did I do this? I wanted to see how far I could get, honestly. That's it. That's it. Now that would be an amazing run if you could somehow do tanked up trouble in reverse without any of the without the actual contraption. The fuel trolley. I imagine there's some way to break the game. People have done. I'm not interested in breaking the game. I like to do the game right, as nature intended. But I'm curious now. The instruction manual of Donkey Kong Country says the mines were like long abandoned, but when you actually play the game, oh God, there's no evidence of that. They all seem to be working mines, still in operation. So I think it's just kind of a case where in-game evidence trumps word of God, and we just have to assume that the instruction manual was wrong in this case, because when you look at the game, they're all still in operation, these mines. Some like equipment has been discarded from long ago, but the ore has not been stripped from Donkey Kong Island as... I don't even need the tire. Fuck that tire, right? Unless it's attached to some bonus area I'm forgetting, and then I have to go back and get it. Which wouldn't surprise me. And we see in returns, actually, that there is still plenty of minerals to be mined from Donkey Kong Island, so... in-game evidence and later game evidence both mean that passage in the instruction manual is incorrect, which happens from time to time. Alright, I'm not gonna do that this time. Shouldn't be afraid of a naughty that keeps spawning out of nowhere. forgetting something, though. There is something here. There's some... Obviously, I didn't get any of the bonuses there. Yeah, I'm gonna go back in. Sometimes these bonuses are so obtuse. Is there something like where you have to let it run out like early on and it like... Trying to remember. There is something weird with Tanked Up Trouble. And actually in the live stream, if you want to help me, I would be willing to take your help. I'm not above that. There's something weird, like you have to like avoid the fuel canister at first, or... Yes! I'll be a son of a bitch. Oh, whatever. I'm excited. I got that one. I knew there was something weird. Something like that. So if I start and select, is that... Yeah, that was it. That was the one that I was spending the whole level thinking of. And I knew there was something that involved either... I was conflating it with the time you're supposed to, like, get the extra fuel canister and ride it to the Engard token with, like, letting it run out and dropping off. It was that one. It was that one at the beginning. And you don't even need to, like, run out of fuel. You can just land in the bonus barrel or the blast barrel that shoots you to the bonus area, but it's just weird. It's a weird place to put a bonus area, because again, there's nothing to tip you off. You kind of have to like screw up and not get the first fuel canister or actively avoid it. And who does that? So mincers. This is the mincers. This is their little spotlight. Oh, Ramby, yay! Although I don't know how handy Ramby will be in a cavern full of mincers. And of course, I'm gonna want to run into every wall with Ramby, as I do in cave levels like this. Does he come back? Have I just? No, he does. Why didn't I just wait for him like a good friend? And now look, we're all dead. Also, look at the cavern background. It's just a weird shade of, like, green. It's like a limestone-y green. Look at that. I busted open a DK barrel, and I got my friend Ramby all at the same time. 2 friends for the price of 1. And it happened again, but I know now to wait for him. Hi, Ramby. Oh, the kickback on that is pretty crazy. This is not really a great place for Ramby to be, because fancy footwork is not Ramby's forte, and this stage does require some fancy footwork. Whoa! He's not the most nimble fellow, this Ramby. Oh, wow, they put the secret passage, secret tunnel in the spot you wouldn't think it would be in. You think it would be in the bigger spot to accommodate, you know, a doorway and everything. The vomiting claptraps. It's such a weird type of bonus area. I actually did it. I very rarely finish those. And I still have Ramby. Whoa. Spencer's kind of spawned out of nowhere. Oh man. Now this is where Ramby is going to look ridiculous. He was so big he actually just went back on the main. Yep, bye Ramby. It's not surprising. That is not surprising at all. Bye, Diddy. Jesus. Oh, hi, Diddy. Love that arrow. That exit. The exit is near arrow is always such a. Oh yeah, this one's fun. I love the ones that are already open. Just to hide the G there. But wait, isn't there something else here? Yeah. Oh. Oh, they have a Winky token hiding up there. I don't really want that, though. No offense to my friend Winky. Okay. Yeah, I did miss something, though. This is getting frustrating. I'm missing them more often than I'm not now. Well, back we go. It is frustrating with this game that compared to the sequels, they do have an inconsistent amount of bonus areas in every level. So sometimes, you know, you only have one, sometimes you'll have 5, and you just don't know. Granted, the 5 is usually just Orang-utan gang, but... can't really plan out, right? Like, okay, I got the second bonus area, or whatever. I got both Krem coins, I got the hero coin. There's really none of that. It's such a crapshoot, which, you know, I see the appeal of, because you never know exactly what you're going to encounter or where, and you're always gonna have to be on your toes until you get that exclamation mark. But I don't know, it's frustrating when you just don't know, especially your first time through a level. I mean, you know, it adds replayability, sure. I feel like those claptraps are tougher in other bonus areas, and they yield less prizes where they're tougher, so it's surprising how quickly you dispatch them there. Oh! Good place to lose him, though, because he just runs right into that little area. I don't know how you can get through there with Rambi. I mean, it's possible, but he's just so slow, even when you're running. Of course, that happened to me the first time through, too. Except I was luckier the first time through, because I landed on the platform. Oh well. It's probably better not to have Rambi right here. Or else something like that might have happened. Alright. It's all about combining your caution with the fancy footwork. Like, you don't want to go too fast, but you also can't be overly cautious. Alright, so... thinking there's something around here. Ah! Go back through there. Luckily, it's bonus area logic, so you just deposit it back out. There it is. Are you... can't believe I missed that the first time around. You can't even see the life counter. It's hiding behind the stalactites. Yeah, stalactites. So it's weird, like, they wouldn't put it over top it. The foreground actually obscures the counter. Alright, Misty Mine. Sounds like a location from Middle Earth. And it's just a mine that's misty. But it's a cool effect. It really is. This is a spotlight for the oil drums, even after we've defeated Dumb Drum. It's almost as if the game is saying, you know, see, that wasn't a dumb boss, that wasn't stupid. There was precedent. The downside is there are so many possibilities for bonus areas here, and you can destroy the oil drums with the TNT barrels, but then are you wasting your shot that could have been taken at a passageway that could have been broken open? So I kind of have to go forward and scope it out. And I'm sure I'll miss it, because I always do. Or as of late, I always do. Hey, there's that. Don't even have to break anything open. Yeah, I don't want the K. Yeah, I don't want the O. No, I want the G. Og. And there's Espresso. Why is Espresso in Misty Mines? Oh, no. I like how you get Espresso, and then the first thing you collect is an Espresso token. It's just the game just doubling down on its decision to feature Espresso. And I am just remembering I still have to do Ice Age Alley, and that's a whole thing, and I hate it, and I'm still mad at you, Espresso. Oh. Because I don't even think, like, Espresso comes in handy here. Right? What good does Espresso do me here? Not a whole hell of a lot. Winky would have been great here. If I missed the bonus area, I know where it was. But if I didn't, what am I talking about? I didn't miss any bonus area. So many baddies here. Alright. Yep, I know where it was. I'm gonna go back. Wow, Diddy is getting barely any heads in this playthrough. I feel bad for him. Donkey's always the one who's exiting the levels, even if Diddy did, you know, 80% of the work. it is Donkey Kong's game. Diddy is just a protege here, so don't feel too bad for Diddy. I like how this looks like Donkey Kong is just freaking out over beavers. Like there's no drop off there, right? But yeah, his little like I'm standing precariously on a ledge animation, which is great, and I love that it's a thing in the game, but this is not a big drop off. He looks like he just has a pathological fear of beavers. Okay. Don't want to get that Rambi token. That's fine. Oh, come on. I thought I was further up on the rope than I was. Maybe the mist and the Misty Mine played tricks on my eyes. You do start to experience, especially coming off of Kremkroc, you start to experience a little bit of seasonal affective disorder in the latter part of Donkey Kong Country, the last two worlds, because you don't really see the outside after the last treetop town level. You're always inside, or you're in a cave or underwater, and it just starts to wear on you a little bit. You can always like see the sky when you visit Cranky, I guess, but it isn't until you get to the K. Rool fight that you're in a level environment that is actually outside. Oh, that's cheap. Alright, well, get all the Kong letters. It's fascinating that they put all the Kong letters in this bonus area. At the very least, I'll get Espresso to have that extra hit until I reclaim Diddy. You know what? I'm just gonna go for another round of the Espresso game because Espresso has the best minigame, and I probably... Did I waste that TNT barrel? Is there enough? Yeah, I did. Damn it. Alright. Start select. But yeah, like, you know, even Gorilla Glacier, you're in, like, the wintry environment, so... It's just kind of amazing how this game is in darkness near the end. And Donkey Kong Country 2, outside of, like, the ship levels, and I guess the bramble levels, they're always... And then the jungle levels, okay. But besides those, you know, you're usually in levels that are at night or in an interior setting, so... Okay, so let me try to gauge. What I need to do is I need to get over the clap traps. So it's just about timing it just right. Alright, there we go. And... I mean, I said I was going to go for it, so I might as well go for it, right? Oh, no! Fuck it. No. No! I was just going to try to screw it up, right? But I somehow stumbled into getting a Rambi token. Thankfully, it's my first Rambi token, so if I can avoid them for the rest of the way, I'll be good. Hi, Funky. I'll visit you later. Let's go to Loopy Lights. And this is another play on Blackout Basement, except if the lights go out here, it's not a deal breaker. You can still see. And those clap traps with their blinding white teeth and eyeballs, you know. But this is a level full of jumping clap traps, so Honestly, in some ways, that might be worse than rock rocks. Rock rocks, they don't bite you, or you don't see them biting you. But having a giant pair of teeth, are you kidding? See? Having a giant pair of teeth lunging at you in the dark. You know, that might top the red eyes of the rock rocks as far as, like, things to be afraid of. Primal things that rankle your nerves. Remember what I was talking about just now about, like, the pseudo-seasonal affective disorder you get near the end of Donkey Kong Country? This is what I mean. Like, oh, now you're going to be in a mine, right? But the lights are going to be going out like in Blackout Basement. It's just, at least Blackout Basement conceivably had, like, indoor plumbing, right? Probably a break room where you could, like, go to the vending machine and get a pack of cheesy cracker sandwiches. This doesn't have any of that. I can't get any cheesy cracker sandwiches here. Made by Lance. You know what I'm talking about. If you're an American, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe they have them in Canada too. Maybe Mexico. If you're in North America, you know what I'm talking about. Lance crackers. You're never really in the mood for them. Never. But then you see them and you're like, yeah, I could eat that. And then you eat it and you're just like, was that really my lunch? It is interesting to me that this game, it's often talked about in retrospect compared to 2 and 3, how this game you have the home field advantage, right? This is Donkey Kong's home. This is Diddy Kong's home. That's kind of being overrun by Kremlings. I don't know if you would consider this a full-scale invasion. It essentially is, but I think of an invasion more in the terms like what the Snowmads pull in Tropical Freeze versus what happens here. But for a game that's purported to be the home field advantage for Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, this is bad. Ah, that wasn't so bad. It doesn't feel very inviting at times, right? Like some of these areas of Donkey Kong Island are just dreary and depressing and scary. Alright, so hope I didn't screw up just now. At least it respawned there. Sometimes I wonder when there's a tire that you can move. It's like, well, which direction should I move it? Because there's going to be like the primary objective sometimes, but then there's a secondary objective. Do I keep pushing it? Do they want me to keep pushing it? Should I put it on that fast-moving platform? Ah, fuck. Well, I'm just going to assume for the moment that there is nothing involved there. Your mind does play tricks on you. Oh, I didn't even see that necky there. That's cheap. I mean, bravo, I applaud them for their cheapness. But... and I have to check every one. You know I do. Even though I don't think there's anything here. Like I said, your mind plays tricks on you. And you just can't be certain. You can't be absolutely certain that there's nothing involved, that there's no secret there. Ah, there's a secret there. Okay. I knew that barrel was going to play somehow. Oh, there's my espresso token, everyone. Well, I asked for this, didn't I? This is just so I can get my lives up. Even though I still have to go back to Ice Age Alley. And Elevator Antics, for that matter, right? Sigh, sigh, sigh. think it's interesting that Espresso's sneakers have DK on them. So Squidder's does too, right? So then, you know, like, does Donkey Kong have his own shoe brand, like Michael Jordan? Because, you know, assuming Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong in this game, the modern Donkey Kong, reached his level of fame for being Donkey Kong Jr., and we're gonna roll with that hypothesis, then nothing about what he did involved shoes, right? He beat a plumber who was abusing his dad/granddad, and then he did some math. He was like go-karting. I don't know, but there's nothing that really involved shoes. Like Michael Jordan, you know, was a famous basketball player, renowned for playing basketball. So having a line of sneakers makes sense. What sense does Donkey Kong having sneakers makes? He doesn't even wear shoes in his day-to-day life. This Manky Kong is pissing me off. Alright. Oh, yeah, they like to throw that in at the end. Okay, alright. I'm gonna go visit Candy. Can I help you, monkey, save your game? Well, I'm the only monkey here, Candy. And as far as the audience is aware, I'm the only monkey you know. So what do you mean? Can you help? I don't like that she would refer to her boyfriend as a monkey. He's a gorilla. That just seems weird. All right, platform Perils. Let's do this. Oh, and you can see right from the start that we got something here. So this is the Omni Crusher that is so tough. Okay, I thought maybe there is something. There is something here. There's some way to get down to that. I think I have to drop. Okay, I went too far. Again, nothing here to indicate what you need to do. Yep, that. Like, okay. At least it didn't take me 20 tries, right? I wanted a banana. I just wanted a single banana. And that's what I was trying to go for. And you're like, no, there's only one way to do this. Screw you. I didn't want your prize. Okay, that army should not respawn that quick after roll. I saw you roll off the edge, army. Alright. So this is the final regular stage of Donkey Kong Country. I think it's the hardest, although whether it actually is the hardest is up for debate. Oh wow! So the star barrel, the checkpoint barrel, actually took out the zinger when I broke it. That's weird. I mean, I guess it does happen, but I'm just not accustomed to it happening as a point of strategy. That's cheap. I should probably break them open. It's too risky. Just hold. Ah! Whoa! Oh, I can't believe I pulled that off. I rolled low when I should have rolled high. why Diddy never gambled at the sheepy shop from Donkey Kong Land 3. Again, you kind of have to just squint and accept that there are floating platforms here that drop when you land on them. How do they float? I don't really know, because they're just rickety pieces of tin metal. I don't exactly know what makes them buoyant in this mine. Compared to Mario, right? Compared to Mario, there is usually logic attached to most of Donkey Kong Country. Like, the scaffolding isn't just floating here. There's actually poles that, you know, show it's hanging from the ceiling, which I appreciate. And my fan in those Crushas in this level that are so tough that even Donkey Kong can't take them out are became the red Crunchas in Donkey Kong Country 2. Oh! So I am in no man's land. It's times like this I wonder if Donkey and Diddy like contemplate their options, weigh what they can do. They know they can't rescue themselves, so do they wait here? This is before cell phones were common. They don't have a cell phone, they can't call for help. So what do? They're just on a tire that's somehow stationary, floating in the middle of a mine. Oh, I could have. Fuck. Had I known that was there, I wouldn't have suicided myself. And it takes out the zinger. I find that fascinating. But yeah, I feel bad for like, the naughties that are just told to patrol these little pieces of metal in this dark cavern, knowing full well there's no possible ending of this that will result in good fortunes for them unless Donkey and Diddy are just completely and utterly finally defeated before reaching them. Because what's gonna happen? Right? Donkey and Diddy are either going to bounce on them or the platform is going to fall before they have a chance to get off. So it's not going to have a good ending for them. Oh, I'm struggling with those Crushas. Not that zinger, though. I don't have to do anything. Just knock him out. Honestly, Donkey Kong would be the better option. Diddy's the better jumper, but, you know, Donkey has less to worry about when it comes to things like clumps, so I'm sacrificing that bit there for all of these bits before that bit. It's weird to me because when I first beat Donkey Kong Country, I did it in the 2-player team, so I only played as Diddy, right? So I got really, or relatively good with Diddy. And Donkey was just hard for me to control. And, you know, I eventually got the hang of him, but he wasn't my Kong. And then Donkey Kong Country 2 came out, and I was still Diddy, and my friend was Dixie. And then Donkey Kong Country 3 came out, and I took over Kitty. And then so I had the lumbering Kong then. So, yeah. I'm not even gonna comment on it when I die. Just gonna let it happen. Because by this point, you know, right? You know I'm gonna die. You know I'm gonna die 12 more times in this level. So why do I need to make a little comment every little time explaining why I died? We just know it's gonna happen. Clump is, besides his nipples, he's fascinating to me because of the outsized importance a portion of the fan base has given. I want to say the characters, but it's really this idea of a single clump because of the Donkey Kong Country cartoon show. And, you know, I think of Clump as a class of baddies. I never think of him as a unique individual, but him and Krusha are thought of as, like, just one single guy each. K. Rool's right hand and left hand men, and I think it's just funny how like the cartoon show contributed to their legend. Well, I mean, they're memorable baddies for sure, but well, I got further that time thanks to Donkey Kong and his ability to throw the barrels over his head. And I like Krusha and Clump, like I said, but I never think of them in terms that a lot of fans do, because fans who are a fan of the cartoon obviously will promote them in their head to something that they're not. For me, I always think of more like Clubba from Donkey Kong Country 2 as K. Rool's right hand, right? Or then obviously Snide in Donkey Kong 64. Both of those relationships didn't really work out in the end. K. Rool ended up firing Snide, and he and Clubba kind of split. But yeah, I'm not a fan of just taking a single baddie and then saying like, that's the main version of this baddie. But he's also called Krusha. He's also called Clump. I know there weren't any other Crushas or Clumps in the cartoon. There's Captain Scurvy, who was modeled after Cannon from Donkey Kong Country 2, who's just Clump, dressed as a pirate. But anyway, my point being, I have never, is there, I want to say, is there a bonus there? Did I just, yeah, fuck. All right. Save a candy to show how close I am. 97%, getting close. So I have to go back into platform Perils. At least I got that one from the very beginning. Granted, Donkey Kong 64 did have a Krusha in the bonus multiplayer. He was an unlockable character. So that was them kind of playing to the new audience that the cartoon had cultivated, which they did a few times in 64. So I guess you could conceivably argue that that Krusha is supposed to be the same Krusha from the cartoon, or a Krusha made canon. But, doesn't mean his name is Krusha, right? His name could be Clive or Sebastian. We don't know. I've never been a fan of the trope, which is especially prevalent in Mario games, of we're just going to have every single character that's this species be named after this character. Like, Yoshi was one thing, right? But then they retroactively made Toad species all named Toad, which I hate. I hate that. And Rare generally avoided it for a long time. Of course, Crunch was supposed to be a critter of sorts in Diddy Kong Racing, but his name was Crunch. Banjo Pilot had a Jinjo that was just named Jinjo, which I didn't care for. Although with Jinjo culture, it's kind of unknown, unless you're a very important Jinjo, whether you have a unique name. King Jingling, of course, has a unique name, but he's the king. And then there's the Ginginator. Jinjo Oracle. Just talking about Jinjos now. That's what the lack of sunlight does to my brain. It's interesting, I can't duck as Diddy on that one platform. I can do it on the other platforms, but that platform will not let me duck. Bye, Diddy. At least I didn't just fall into the pit that time. I think it's funny how Donkey, like, turns his head like a confused dog. Have you ever noticed that? He just kind of like, he's like looking ahead like, what? What am I seeing? What am I hearing? I know they like based some of Donkey Kong's movements on horses galloping and stuff, but I don't think a dog factored into it. Maybe it did. Okay. Yep. I was unsure. I thought maybe. And thankfully, I double-checked. You don't want to get that, Donkey. You don't even need to look at your imaginary watch. Phew. So I was thinking if I got 3, would it deposit me earlier in the level? This is not a level you wanted to be deposited in earlier. Yeah! Alright. Now I'm gonna save again. Yoo-hoo, honeycomb! 98%. Let's go visit Cranky. And I've always wondered, so is there a crack in the cavern so Cranky has perfect sunlight here? What incarnation do you want? Oh, not much, Dad, thanks. And what little we did have, we were happy with. Oh, this... So close to the end of the game, and Cranky is just giving me utter and complete shit. It's so funny to me that Nintendo okayed this being the original Donkey Kong. It's such a massive retcon, and I don't know, like, this all resulted in them not liking Diddy Kong being the redesign of Donkey Kong Jr., and they said to Rare, you know, hey, change the character, change him back to how he looked, or else make this a new character, don't make this Junior. And so they were like, no, we like this design, we like having a monkey sidekick, we're gonna make this a new character. And then they stumbled upon the idea to explain Junior's absence by aging up all of the characters and taking this Grandpa Kong character they devised and making that the original Donkey Kong, which was genius. And I have more thoughts about that that I'll share at the end here. But so this is Master Necky Sr. talking about generations and fathers and sons here. Game Boy Advance remake would actually make this more interesting. They would have both Senior and Junior in the same fight here. I'm too impatient. I've got to evade the nuts, and then I've got to jump on him. It's weird that we have like a boss fight right before the boss fight. Oh yeah, Diddy is gonna get credit for completing Chimp Caverns. Alright, so obviously there is K. Rool. Gangplank Galleon, but I have to get the remaining bonuses. So, let me save the game. How would you like a quick spin in my save barrel? Everything Candy says sounds sexual. Less so in this game. Donkey Kong 64, she was just one big walking innuendo, constantly like bending over and everything. So I hate when you spawn like right in the middle of the level, because it's like, again, no warm-up practice. You're just in it. So I have to like reacclimate myself to what was happening here in Elevator Antics. I'm sorry if I offended any Cartoon Clump fans. Now, it would have been more interesting to me had the cartoon just said, like, hey, we're going to invent new characters. New Kremlings to be... If we want K. Rool to, like, play off somebody, right? We're not going to just use a stock Crusher and Clump. Let's just make new baddies. They could have been a Crusher and a Clump, but just call them something else. Why did I jump in there? I don't know. I'm just trying anything at this point. I'm feeling a little loosey-goosey. I'm feeling a little drunk off of being so close to the end here. And you know what? Who cares? I'm just going to jump into a pit when I feel like it. Because I really don't know where this bonus is. I forget. I'm a forgetful man. You would think it would be there. You really would. It's a nice chunky wall. Not to be confused with Chunky Kong. It's a nice, thick, juicy place that you just want to break it open and go inside of it. Now I sound like a walking innuendo. I feel like Robert California, the character from The Office Season 8. The U.S. Office Season 8, where everything is sex. And that is certainly true with Donkey Kong Country. This game just exudes an animalistic sexual potency. Which I'm not sure why that wasn't featured on the box art, or that commercial they ran here in the US like a couple months after the game came out, and it was still like the biggest thing in the world, and they just like included all like these critical pull quotes. They really should have talking about its sexiness. I have to say, I don't like these antics. These antics are not doing it for me right now. Although, this is preferable to Animal Antics, which Platform Perils is challenging, but it's definitely... It's debatable if it's the hardest in the game, right? But it is definitely not the hardest in the series. And Animal Antics is right up there with the hardest in the series. Oh man, can you imagine when I play DKC2 on this series, how often I'm gonna die in Animal Antics? Make a note of it now, right? Like, because when the time comes, that's gonna be an epic spanking. Because I have gotten pretty good at Animal Antics, right? But I've never played it on display for anybody, right? To go back to the sexual metaphors, it would be like somebody who decided later in life to become a porn star, and they realized they've never performed sexually in front of anybody. That's what Animal Antics is like for me. Never performed Animal Antics sexually in front of everybody. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm not going to be doing DKC2 next. That won't be the next game I attempt in this series. Because I don't want to lump all the DKC games together. Because then, you know, what do we have to look forward to? If you're in it for DKC, don't want to get all of them done. So I'm thinking this bonus I'm missing is near the start. Oh! I thought I would have hit it. I can use another round of the espresso token game. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. This steel keg might have some relevance after all. Nope. Damn, that would have been cool. Well, now I just want to check all of the pits. But not that pit. That pit doesn't have anything. Why do they have that little pit there? The little knobby part on the pit. Oh, it's frustrating. Oh, and now I'm just completely off my game. I got taken out by his juicy nips. Those purpley grape flavored nips. I'm sure he like lactates grape soda, right? Do you ever wonder what a clump lactates? I mean, yeah, I know they probably don't lactate anything, but if they did lactate something, why are you here? It would probably be, unless, no, there's nothing there. I was thinking maybe I take that keg over, I break it open, you know, good laugh is shared by all, and I then have a refreshing glass of clump grape soda from their nipples, but that's not gonna happen. No, but I mean, do you ever imagine a clump breastfeeding you? I mean, no, just stay with me here. If a clump could lactate grape soda, and it's like fully carbonated, the best grape soda you've ever had, would you be willing to suckle a clump? The clump is into it. The clump is willing. The clump wants to quench your thirst and knows he can do it. So everything's going to be up and up here. Would you do it? Would you like, yes, Mr. Clump, please give me that grape soda from your lactating moobs? I don't know if I would do it, because I think this would be the first time I would meet a clump in person, you know, on the account of clumps don't actually exist. So I would have a lot of questions for the clump, and I wouldn't jump from, hi, nice to meet you, can I suck on your teats? It would definitely be, after several hours of deep conversation with this clump. I'd probably want to get them on the conversation, actually, if there was a real life clump. But I imagine any teat sucking that would go on wouldn't happen until far later in the evening. If at all, because quite frankly, it's just weird. It's weird. I don't care how good the grape soda is. I don't know how I feel about it. And I think I just don't like the clump from the cartoon because he's green. And it's like, what? Are you gonna, like, give me surge from those nipples? Don't you know that kills sperm? Ah! I'm sick of this level. I'm sick of these antics. These antics are not for me. I wonder if Elevator Antics, if they originally wanted to go with, like, loopy lifts or something, because elevator is such an American term. Rare really did try to Americanize, or maybe this was Nintendo's influence, but they really did try to Americanize their games around this time. I think Conquer was really the first game that said, no, fuck it, this is out and out British. And of course, Rare today just, you know, they're fully known as a UK studio, and they're like, it's very, very English. Them and Platonic. But yeah, back in the 90s, I think there was this effort to make them feel like Americans or designed for Americans. It just interesting. And sure, things changed in localization, but the localization didn't really get affected between here and the UK, here being the US, which is where I am. Oh, I hesitated, and then I didn't hesitate long enough. Fatal flaws. Didn't expect to be tripped up by Elevator Antics, I have to say. And this is like the last bonus I'm still trying to figure out where it's at. Like, I know where the bonus in Ice Age Alley is at, and I just hate it so. So I hesitated again. I should have just rolled into him, and then I chickened out, and then I was left with nothing but to do that, and see where that got me. I just need to be sure of myself. I need to find that self-confidence again. And there's Donkey. Okay. I'm gonna stick with Diddy. The clump. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Diddy until I don't. There we go. That's better. Oh, I hate this mini necky. I've already gotten that, so I'm just getting to the first part of the level. All right, now we're doing this. This is going to end. This is going to end now. So I've already got 2 bonuses. That's the thing. It's been so long since I've been in the first part of this level. Oh, I gold hoarded myself. Oh no. It is amazing how you can be taken out at the exact same time. I apologize. I apologize for this poor showing. That K was not worth it, was it? Remember when I had 70-some lives? So long ago. And this is all in service of just getting, like, what, 2 bonus areas? That's all I have remaining. So, alright, so that slip-a trap. I wish I just fell into that looks like a Z on the map screen, and I think that's my performance. I'm grade Z right now. Z for all of our non-American Viewers, so yeah, I'm thinking it might be attached to the ropes up here. Because I commented on it while I was playing it. I just didn't think this would become this whole thing where, like, not these ropes necessarily, but somewhere along the way, the ropes are going to hide a... Oh, come on. I landed on that slipper. Sometimes I wonder if Donkey Kong or Diddy, they don't actually get hit, right? But they just want to take a break, so they pretend. They just allow themselves to go to the DK barrel out of... Oh, come on. I thought I could climb up there. That seemed like something that would be plausible, right? I'm not crazy. This mini necky. I have no patience for you. Or you slippers. So. There's nothing up there, though. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to hit the star barrel and then get stuck. Well, all that just to get the DK barrel. Which I didn't even need. Ah. Alright, what does the live stream have to say? Where is this last bonus area? I thought I could do it without help, but I'm just getting to the point where I feel like I'm missing something obvious here. I'm gonna just start chucking myself into every pit, into every crevice, getting stung by every zinger along the way. See, like, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I know there's nothing up there. I know instinctively there's nothing up there, but I don't know anymore. I'm doubting myself. I'm doubting my years of experience. I'm wondering if I have some sort of, like, early onset dementia. And see, my brain is playing tricks on me now. When that zinger dips down beneath the rope there, I think, oh, there's a banana. And then no, it's just a bee. It's just a killer murder hornet that wants to kill me dead. See, and I'm like, no, there has to be something up there. I refuse to accept there's nothing up there. I just want this to be done. Maybe those plumbers are hiring. Maybe they can take me away from all of this. I can just learn an honest trade, work with my hands. Okay. I know not to drop down there, right? Like, that they're just bananas. But I have to try because I have to try everything now. Grade Z. Grade Z. That's where I'm at. Grade Z Donkey Konger. I've already got this. Yeah. I just wanted to go into a bonus area that I knew how to get into. Ah! How did I forget about that mini necky? Oh, no. Oh, see, if I get that, then I'm stuck, right? I'm just gonna hang here. I'm just gonna hang here and wonder how I get myself out of this. Well, let me know in the live stream what pit you want me to throw myself down. Because I'll do it. I'm out of options. These antics of the elevators have broken me. And you know, the thing is, like, I know where the only other bonus area I need in the game is. I know where that is. And the fact that I have this mystery one in Elevator Antics, that's like such a... It's not like it's a nothing stage, right? Like, it's a fine stage, and it's one that I remember, or I thought I remembered well, but it's not one that I would, like, put up as, like, a great challenge. And the fact that I can't find it is infuriating. It's aggravating. I'm, like, astonished that I'm having this level of difficulty. And I don't know, like, I feel like it's the ropes. I feel like it's the ropes. I've got to go back. Those ropes with zingers. Not those ropes. The earlier ropes. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. All right. I could have gotten a green balloon, but I don't care. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Yeah, I'm saving. Yeah, I'm saving the game. All right, 99%. There's only one thing I have to do, and I don't want to do it. I hate the thought of this, but if we're going to get a full 100%, 101% run... Gorilla Glacier. Ice Age Alley. Alright. But okay. Well, I couldn't avoid that, so I'm not going to cry about it. I'm really hating the thought of this. I wish there was a way I could do this without espresso. I really do. And it just keeps going, too. Yeah. Yeah, it's up there. That's where it is. There's no way to get to it without espresso. And you have to go through so much. Mankeys. Jeez. Like, I wish... Nope. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna do it. I'm done whining. I'm done crying. This is all I have to do before K. Rool. I'm gonna do it. That Elevator Antics one, I can't believe. I was checking the wrong side, and I completely, like, forgot that you have to go... It's like such a Mario thing. Walking on the ceiling. Like, let's get to the warp zone or whatever. That's not something I associate with Donkey Kong at all. And it's probably, like... Honestly, like, looking back, that might be one of my most missed bonus areas whenever I replay the game. But you'd think by this point in my life, I would have remembered where it is. And certainly I'll never forget it now, but... Alright, you know what? In the interest of, not having to replay this again and again and again, we're going to have to, I think, create a suspend point. And I might redo that the further I go, but we gotta get the show on the road, right? So, my biggest problem here has been constantly dying. So, whenever... Alright, hold on. Whoops. Too far. Alright. Dismount? Okay. Oh, I'm glad I created a suspend point. Okay. Because this is evil. Whatever. I don't need you, Diddy. Okay. Oh, come on. I can't believe. The claptraps keep tripping me up, and that's something that's surprising to me, that, you know, like, Espresso's big feature is that claptraps can walk right underneath them, but they can take them out so easily, it doesn't really matter. Like, as far as superpowers go, that's pretty weak. See? See? That's the one that got me before. Alright. Ah! Bam! Alright. I just needed to spam the suspend points a little bit. So after all that time, after all of that turmoil and strife and what have you, I got up here. And it is, in its defense, you know, they do offer a blue balloon, which is like the top of the crop when it comes to prizes in the bonus areas of this game, because there's no Krem coins, there's no bonus coins. But Get out of here. Yeah! Alright, I'm definitely saving the right way. Now. So, interesting that you can have 100% before you even defeat K. Rool. So he just gives you that little extra percentage point. So let's go. Let's go to the Gangplank Galleon. The end is here, or near. There's a secret here in the Game Boy Advance version. You can get a green balloon. Oh, he's out. All right, so this is K. Rool. Hi, K. Rool. K. Rool, of course, do I really need to, like, go into how much he matters to the fan base? But I will say that in this early stage, in his first appearance here, he seems rather generic. He seems like not a Bowser clone so much as King Koopa, that iteration of Bowser from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. But there's little ticks he has, like his finger waggle whenever the cannons are coming down. The cannonballs are firing down at you. Oh, damn it. And he's doing his little finger waggle like he's so excited. And it just kind of shows you a little something about his character that shows you he's not all there, really. And that and his really, like, absurdly agile jump. He's, like, physically fit in very, very specific and weird ways. His jumping ability and his strength, I guess, but the jumping ability in particular, and his throwing arm. But he's still, like, this big, obese guy. And then you've got the faux end credits here, which I remember as a kid thinking, well, this is lame. Not that they did the fake credits, but that this was the end. And it just didn't feel right to me. I remember my first thought in the spring of '95 when I reached this. And then, you know, you see the end question mark, and you were like, pick up the controller, it's not over. And then he does his little bounce, which really was challenging as a kid, like getting around this. And then you just realize if you stand still and then just roll underneath him, it will work itself out. Just getting the timing right. And that's K. Rool. You can tell that I've done that a lot more in my life than I have Ice Age fucking Alley. Well done, Donkey, my boy, even though it was Diddy who beat him. Who would have ever thought a young whippersnapper like you could have beaten that bunch of no-good Kremlings? You've made an old man proud. Aw. Go and look in your hoard. I think you'll be in for a surprise. So did Cranky take them all back? What a player you are, Donkey, my lad. You've beaten the Kremlings. And found absolutely everything. You're nearly as good as I used to be. It's also the first time Cranky is referred to his ability in the past tense. And the banana hoard is refilled. Donkey is happy. He celebrates. It's a good feel-good moment, right? And now we have the character parade, which would be a beloved tradition at the end of all of Rare's Donkey Kong games. Helpful for, like, learning the characters too. It's weird that, you know, the ones that don't have a walking animation or a flying or swimming animation, they just kind of have to get pushed along the treehouse. This I don't view as canon, the character parades. I don't view, like, this is just kind of like an extra in the sense of, like, out of universe sort of experience for our benefit. But I like how they put little set pieces here of, like, the Squidges teaming up against the Chomp Jr. That music, though. You gotta love that David Wise music. And Retro did a remix of this for the end of Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's always so. Seeing Very Naughty in Donkey Kong's Treehouse reminds me in the Game Boy Advance version. When you come back to the treehouse, Very Naughty has basically crashed Donkey Kong's house, and there's like this moment where you freak out. He freaks out when you catch him breaking and entering, and he runs away. Just funny. There's a lot they did well in the remakes, and for as much shit as they get. All right, the Kongs. They knew what they had with Cranky. You can just tell, like, he's still a funny character, and really, you know, everybody thinks Donkey Kong Country is a story about Donkey Kong needing to get its bananas back, and yes, that is the objective. But I would argue that the story is the story between these two right here, Donkey and Diddy, and Cranky even. It's the story of generations and how they relate and interact with each other, how the youngest generation aspires to be like the generation before them, and how the older generation can't accept sort of being displaced, and the anger and rage that they feel. And so it's the story of the boomer Cranky Kong, the Gen Xer Donkey Kong, and the millennial Diddy Kong. So yeah, head programmer Chris Sutherland, who is a friend of DK Vine and now a Platonic. Steve Males and Kev Bayless, also a Platonic, and still designing characters to this day. Kev Bayless designed Vendy, who we all love from Ukulele. And yeah, David Wise, Evelyn Fisher, and Robin Beanland. Robin Beanland's sole credit on a Donkey Kong game, or a Donkey Kong Country game, and would be primarily associated with Conker from a Donkey Kong universe perspective. Of course, he also did Killer Instinct, Jet Force, Gemini, and many other games at Rare, and is now the head musician at Rare, and has done Sea of Thieves, and my screen just dimmed there. You know, Robin Beanland really is a musical chameleon when it comes to his output. But he just did Funky's Fugue here, which was repurposed from a Killer Instinct promotional video. Greg Males, of course, game design. Greg Males, what can I say about Greg Males? He designs games basically for me and my own wants and likes, and you know, I never had a video game speak to me like I did Donkey Kong Country. And I fell in love. I really did, like, just completely fall head over heels in love with this game. And there we go, 101%. So that's a beautiful sight. Just gonna go back in here, and then starts you back at Jungle Hijinks after beating K. Rool. Like, you don't just start at the Gangplank Galleon. But great little touch here. You come back in, and then there it is. The banana hoard is still filled, and you can visit at any time and just soak that visual in. It's something that they didn't do in Returns, which I really like hated. That you didn't have that little like moment of permanent victory ingrained upon the game. But yeah, that's Donkey Kong Country, and you know it's funny to me how this game is so undervalued. Not so much these days. It went through this whole spell of especially around the turn of the century, the new millennium, and when Rare was purchased by Microsoft, you saw all of this, like, all these hot takes by magazines like Game Informer and online outlets. Donkey Kong Country was overrated trash, right? And that all it had going for it was its graphics, which were now out of date anyway, so fuck it. And this was like common wisdom for a long time. And then you had these purported quotes from Shigeru Miyamoto about how, I forget the verbatim quote, but Donkey Kong Country proves that, you know, gamers will put up with mediocre gameplay so long as the graphics are good. And we still don't know if Miyamoto actually ever said that. It probably was attributed to him, but taken out of context. But, you know, even if he did say it, even Miyamoto has come forward and said, you know, there's this rumor that I don't like Donkey Kong Country, and that's wrong. And Miyamoto has been an advocate for Donkey Kong Country. And it says something about the quality of his character, that Donkey Kong was his baby, right? It was his first big game, his breakthrough in the industry at Nintendo. Was revolutionary, and, you know, he kind of let it grow fallow. He kind of moved on to Mario as like the character he was focused on, and made revolutionary games with Mario. But around 93, there was this plan to bring Donkey Kong back at Nintendo, and the project, which was, you know, I think codenamed Super Donkey, eventually became Yoshi's Island when Nintendo caught wind of what Rare was doing with ACM graphics and Silicon graphic workstations, and they were like, this is what we need, this is the silver bullet we need for our war with Sega, and why don't we give you Donkey Kong? And so the Super Donkey project became Yoshi's Island, which Miyamoto, of course, was heading up around this time. And was there professional jealousy, rivalry? Of course, because, you know, Miyamoto is human. If something I created had been taken by another creator, another team of creators, even with my permission, and they made something that looked like this, I would be jealous, for sure. But Miyamoto, even if, you know, no matter how he felt at the time, he has been supportive of Donkey Kong and this vision of Donkey Kong ever since. And, you know, he's been an advocate behind the scenes. He was an advocate at the beginning of the last decade of bringing Donkey Kong Country back, right? And that's how it wound up in the hands of Retro Studios. And we got that. And, you know, to this day, Miyamoto is advocating for Donkey Kong behind the scenes. And he's never retconned this version of Donkey Kong. You know, they've done arcade throwbacks, and that's well within the right, because that's a perfectly valid take on Donkey Kong. But this is Donkey Kong's world now. This is his existence. Him and Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong Island. And this is where it all began. And the sequels, I will say, I prefer. And, you know, even Returns, I would say, I think I'm more nostalgic and I have a greater love for this game, but I think Returns does some things a whole hell of a lot better. But you couldn't have those games without this. This was the template, this was the foundation that everything after was built on. And you couldn't have had such stellar games like Donkey Kong Country 2 without such an amazing foundation. And like I said, I fell in love with this game in '94. This was it for me. This was like the game series I had been waiting my whole life for. And it's just so much of it spoke to me, from the nature to the characters to the world. This was a world I would be happy living in. And it felt like a world that could plausibly exist within our own. And I don't know, like, I enjoy visiting fantastical realms. I enjoy, you know, games that are just well beyond anything we're capable of seeing in our world. And, you know, that's what this game is too. I'm not saying like I'm ever going to encounter a talking gorilla and his wacky family, but the environments, the world always had this tangibility to it, this realness that like skirted the line just perfectly. That it was cartoony nonsense, but it was also this loving tribute to our own world and nature and the wilderness. And I loved it. I loved it, and I was like, I made a vow on the cartridge that I would buy every sequel. I would stay with this series to the bitter end, and the bitter end still has not come, nor will it ever. Somehow that vow became the whole Donkey Kong universe. Banjo, Conker, Star Fox Adventures, Grab by the Ghoulies, It's Mr. Pants, Viva Pinata, the latter two Connect sports games, Viva Pinata, Sea of Thieves, the new Battletoads, but you know, this is where it all began. This is my passion. This is my love, my first love. You never forget your first game, as the Rare Replay trailer said. And this wasn't my first game, but this was essentially the first game for the rest of my life. So I loved it. This is where I wanted to start DK Vine Done Slow, and had a lot of fun playing it for all of you. And thank you for taking the journey with me. And just shout out real quick to those of you in the live stream. No Song for Spiders. Guts the Pug. Hello, Guts the Pug. Coco. Oh, I'm gonna botch this. Coco Garensu. Yeah, but thank you all for tuning in. And on the next installment of DK Vine Done Slow, I will be jumping ahead a great deal to see what this team, a lot of this team, would do after leaving Rare and developing a new game that was a spiritual successor under a new company, and that is Yooka-Laylee. And I will be playing the original Yooka-Laylee on the next DK Vine Done Slow coming next week. So stay tuned for that. I will be returning to Donkey Kong's neck of the woods, though, after that. So just stay tuned if you're in it for the Kongs. But, yeah, Yooka-Laylee is next. Thanks again for watching, and, yeah. Take life slow. Still hate that catchphrase. Bye, everyone. I'm gonna go to bed now. Diddy, go back to your house. We don't have that kind of relationship yet.